Good evening, everybody, and welcome into the latest edition of the Milford Informer. I am your host, Tim Coet. We have quite a bit of content to get to on the program this week, so we do not want to waste any time. Let's dive right into what we have coming up in this week's Top Stories Rundown. Tonight, see how the team over at Cornerstone at Milford is finding creative ways to educate the public on how to help those suffering from dementia. Also tonight, find out details on an upcoming screening of the documentary I Learn America, hosted by the MHS Global Citizenship Program. And later in sports, we will take an early season look at the Milford girls lacrosse team and find out how the program is continuing to grow within the Milford community. We have been honored to have Cornerstone at Milford serving as one of our gold sponsors for the last several years. This past week, we were joined by representatives from Cornerstone to discuss how they are getting into the community to spread awareness when it comes to dealing with individuals suffering from dementia.
Hi, I'm Christine Matier. I am with Cornerstone at Milford. I'm the Community Relations Director, and thank you for having us here today and allowing us to share this experience with you.
Yeah, it's been great to take the folks here from Milford TV and put them through our dementia experience as a way to try to build awareness about what dementia is and to give you kind of a feeling of what it's like to have it. This is part of Cornerstone at Milford's dementia-friendly initiative that we've launched about 2014. And it's a multi-part program that's intended to help build empathy and awareness of dementia and to talk about what it is, what it isn't, how to communicate with people who have it, and how to let people kind of feel what it feels like to have it. So what we were able to do today was to bring our experience to you, and we geared you up and asked you to go through a number of activities. You guys have now gone through our dementia experience, and what did it feel like?
It was definitely interesting. I don't know how I feel about being able to not find my balance with like things in your feet shoes. That was interesting, for me at least, because I also hate pebbles in my shoes. So
it's not a good feeling.
No.
Did you find that the most challenging?
That and hearing, not being able to kind of fully hear the directions. I feel it was hard for me to follow through with the tasks, just because I didn't quite hear everything because of all the other things stimulating my ability to hear.
Right. Now imagine that you have a loved one who has dementia, and you come in and you tell them, you know, I want you to get dressed, and we're going to go have breakfast, and we're going to do this, and they can't hear just as you couldn't, and so the world becomes very confusing for them.
And it might not just be hearing, it might just be the processing of all that information as well. So part of the different gear that we put on you is to help make those processes a little bit harder. So hearing was a little bit more difficult, and seeing things was a little bit more difficult, and thinking through a task was a little bit more difficult. And I know we gave you guys 4 tasks to start off with, and you right away kind of forgot at least one of them. So.
Yeah, I was just overwhelmed by the lack of hearing plus the noise that I was hearing. So it just kind of it just annoyed me. And immediately I was just like, okay, I know I have to do this one task, but then I was so annoyed by the noise I was hearing that I forgot like exactly what I was supposed to do for the other tasks.
And annoyance is a very important thing to kind of keep in mind as well, because how does that affect your mood when you're annoyed?
Right,
right?
yeah.
So
I could completely see myself getting angry, frustrated. I think I would have a little bit more empathy now for people in that situation. If I see someone struggling like that,
Right.
I think I can understand what they're going through a little bit more.
Right. And when somebody is feeling that way, they can't often express what they're going through or share what they're feeling. So we might have a resident who is frustrated and upset, and we don't know necessarily why, and we have to go through all of these things to figure out what is that one little thing that could be bothering them. And it could have been the pebble in the shoe, you know, or the shoes on backwards. And so it really throws you for a loop. And it was interesting watching you both do the tasks, because you could see that you were struggling with what you were supposed to do next. I mean, we have your checks here, which is interesting. So we gave you the task to write the bills.
Yeah, you were supposed to pay the electric company.
We got
There's
one
one check to the electric company for the wrong amount.
for the wrong amount.
There's a check to a customer.
It says test customer for but the same amounts almost. And
Almost.
then Rob wrote a check for $1 million to himself.
I imagine that was easier.
But what was interesting when I was watching is that Rob, you didn't even look at the bills. You just started writing checks
I
to
forgot
yourself.
what I was supposed to do.
So again, put yourself in the place of somebody who has dementia, and the table was confusing. There were papers, right? They go to
There
the
was several
table.
other bills that were there.
They can't see. They have these thoughts all going through their mind, and now they have to write a bill.
Yeah, and then I ripped the check, which
That's not going to help.
I can't even use that $1 million check.
Because you were struggling. I saw
Right.
you were struggling because your fingers, you
Yeah.
couldn't move your fingers
Mhm.
to tear the checks properly.
Yeah, that was frustrating too, writing. And I had to really look, because I'm wearing the glasses, so I really had to concentrate to write just my name.
Right.
Yeah.
And the other interesting thing is that when you were filling the pill bottles, you were great. Like you were looking at the bottles and filling them. I don't know. Did you struggle with where they needed to go?
Yes, because it said two once a day.
Right.
So I wasn't sure if I needed to fill both rows because it was 2 weeks of
Yeah.
of meds. But yeah, I just didn't know how many
Right.
to like really
And-
focus on.
Yeah. And again, Rob was doing it, and he didn't even look at the bottles. He just so again, imagine
Just
if
Making
you
a little cocktail
right,
for
but
the week, no, but honestly, I got so frustrated in the first task, I just wanted to make breakfast that I didn't even care about the other tasks. I
Right.
was like, oh, I can't make breakfast now? Well,
right.
Yeah.
So and imagine if you're home alone and you have dementia and you have to take your own medications. You can see how so many elderly can end up in the hospital by taking too much, not enough.
Dropping some and not realizing they had
Mhm.
dropped it, filling it wrong the first time, so then you're taking it wrong later.
Just trying to pick up a pill was
Yeah.
hard enough.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
I had to like kind of push them into my
Right.
hand.
We
take
do
it-
this often, and we have to bring a broom usually to
Usually.
sweep up. When you're doing like a large group, there's
Yeah.
pills everywhere.
There is. I mean,
it's
so
hard
you-
to close the bottle with
Yeah.
the gloves on. And
I mean, we take it for granted, right? We just go over to a pill bottle, you can just open it up and take your pill and you close it up and you put it away. But now they're home alone, they have to read the label, how often are they taking it? They have to make sure they're taking it, they have to open the bottle. There's all these steps that we forget about. Grabbing the pill was a challenge. So it's not just simple as take your medication.
Yeah, and
And
remembering
you-
to put it back where it was.
Right.
And since you brought it up about people wanting to help, as you were talking, I was thinking about it. If I almost felt embarrassed, like if someone were to offer help,
Right.
I feel like I might be embarrassed to say, oh, I have dementia.
Right.
So like I could feel that.
And we see that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the stigma of dementia, and this is part of why we want to talk about it a little bit more, because if people understood it a little better, it wouldn't be such a weird, bad, embarrassing thing to talk
Right.
about. And then at the same time, it's not like it doesn't exist, and people know this. So like things like the making your checks out. If somebody were to call you and say, you didn't pay your electric bill, can you give me your credit card number over the phone? You might be more inclined to just do it, even though it might just be a scam or somebody trying to take advantage of the fact that this is happening as well.
So you can see why doing this kind of training is so important to get out to the community, again, not just to healthcare professionals and not just to the people who work in our field, but to people who deal with the community every day, whether it's a restaurant or, as I mentioned, a bank or a library, because they may have somebody come up to them that, like she had said, that maybe they might think, are they drunk? Something's wrong with them, but really they just have dementia and they might just need a little bit of extra support in place.
Yeah, and I think a staggering statistic that we had learned anyway is that while there are communities like Cornerstone at Milford that can really provide a lot of opportunities to help people who live with dementia, the majority of them, 75% of them, live at home alone, and a lot of them are undiagnosed, so they're not even getting the support that they need from their doctors or loved ones and whatnot as well. So these are issues that are things they're going to face every day. Can I make myself a meal 3 times a day? Can I take my meds maybe 3 times a day? Am I able to maintain the lights in my house because I'm paying my bills on time? Is that a problem? What am I wearing? Am I wearing the same clothes every single day? And then the other problems that kind of come along with that, am I getting ill more often, or am I dealing with being isolated and not talking to people anymore?
If any companies or groups or organizations want you to do this demonstration with them, how would they contact you, and what do you have a schedule for this, or how does they go about doing that?
We try to work around their schedule as much as possible. We try to be very flexible that way, because we know that if we're dealing with firemen, they are working on different schedules. If we're working with banking, we will go to them, and we definitely would encourage them to call the community. They can call Cornerstone at Milford at 508-473-0035, and they can ask for myself, Christine, or anybody at the community would be happy to help them, and we could schedule it around their schedule.
And if they don't have the space to host it, we can host it at Cornerstone at Milford. We have a lot more information about this training and the other trainings that we offer as part of this Dementia Friendly Massachusetts program at seniorlivingresidences.com.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It was a great experience.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for
having
having
us.
Thanks a lot.
In a few weeks, members of Milford High School's Global Citizenship program, in cooperation with the school's EL program and Spanish Honor Society, will host a screening of a very powerful documentary over in the high school auditorium. To find out all of the details on this event, let's turn things over to Milford High School student Robin Cabral.
My name is Robin Cabral. I'm a junior at Milford High School, and I am a part of the Global Citizenship program at the high school. I'm here to promote a documentary we'll be showing on April 24th called I Learn America. The Global Citizenship program is a service-based club at the school revolving around focusing on cultural and international services. Me growing up, I've always been a global focused person, and this club just really grabbed my attention, and I hopped right on it as soon as I could. The documentary is called I Learn America, and it follows 5 students in high school in New York City and Lafayette High School. And within the documentary, it follows these 5 students and their struggles in the United States, for they immigrated into the United States. And it touches upon certain struggles that they have to go through on a daily basis, whether it be a language barrier or a cultural barrier. Milford High School is very diverse, and Milford as a whole is also diverse, and we want to honor the diversity that we have that not many places around here has. The documentary is on April 24th. That'll be on a Tuesday, and it will be held in the Milford High School auditorium. It is advised for people to start arriving at around 5:30, because prior to the film being shown, we will have venues and a DJ, and it'll be kind of like a big party beforehand. The food is catered toward the cultures. We have a somewhat sponsored places around Milford that will be helping us, and all these foods will be from different locations from around the world, but are in our restaurants in Milford. There will also be several activities going around. There will be a map for people to even pinpoint where they actually came from or where their heritage is from. It's completely free, so anyone can come and show up and have fun. The website is very interesting for that. Many people go on the website and will actually post their own stories and their own immigration stories coming into the United States. And it's not just stories that you may read like in a novel or maybe a short story, but there are some poems, there are pictures. It's an interesting site to go on to see people's backstories and where they originated from. We really hope to see many people at I Learn America. It will be a very fun night. It's on April 24th from 6 to 8. Please show up if you can. There will be many activities, and please enjoy this clip from I Learn America.
My dad said, I'm gonna come to the United States, I'm gonna be here working 3 years, and then I'm gonna go back to Guatemala. He was coming here by halfway in Mexico. He was killed.
Across the room if you are not from the United States.
Our students are recent immigrant English language learners from about 52 different countries.
You see my country? My country is bigger.
They are the American dream.
The options are to either nurture and support and educate them or not.
It was not a choice for us to come here. That's something our parents choose.
Coming here is really hard. I was 10, crossing the desert by myself.
We just here on a visa, and I mean, we not have nothing.
The most difficult part is he can speak in English, you know.
Absolutely nobody else speaks his language.
If you hit someone and they press charges, you can go to jail.
What I want to say, I have in my brain, but I can't speak.
I can't imagine what they're going through.
My dad, like he said, it's the age when you're supposed to get married.
I feel very nice when the children is good.
They already chose a boy for me.
All the normal angsty stuff about being a teenager and trying to figure out who you are and what right and wrong is, on top of adjusting to a totally new culture. I mean, it's insane.
You need to realize wherever you choose to be in this world, it's up to you.
My parents want me to put a dress on prom. How am I gonna look with a dress?
Something you want and you can't achieve. You just have to suffer.
I feel a little bit different.
Everybody's different here. Different nationality, different people, different dressing, culture, and all of that.
I want to go back to Guatemala, but only to vacation.
This heart is over there and the body's over here.
Milford's annual town meeting is just a few short weeks away. As town officials prepare for the meeting, the Board of Selectmen welcomed in representatives of a special committee that was established to look into ways to improve and enhance town meeting. Let's listen into some of the recommendations made to the selectmen.
Item 1 was a standard starting time for all town meeting members. That was a large percentage of the respondents of the survey really wanted to start the meeting at 7 versus 7:30. So that's Article 7 in the warrant. If we're going to make all town meetings start at 7, then by policy, the selectmen have to set that as a policy. Then the next one is a standard adjournment time for town meetings. We've had experience recently where some town meetings have run very late, and at least anecdotally, it seems that people are reluctant to say, we've had enough, let's go home. So this article sort of flips that coin around, that the town meeting ends at a specific time, debate stops at a specific time, and there's a motion that has to be made to continue the town meeting. So if there's 1 or 2 non-controversial articles, the town meeting still has an opportunity to continue to finish that evening and not put it off to another evening. Another item that took a lot of response from the survey was to limit speaker time. So that's Article 10 in the warrant. That article basically is modeled after the Framingham bylaw. It's been on their books for a long time. The committee felt it was suitable. It addresses the presentation of the presenter of the motion a little bit more time than the speakers, and there's an opportunity in that article also with 2/3 vote to continue that speaker time. So a speaker can get up. We have a big proposal that needs more time. The speaker can request additional time to present his full motion. And then there's cutoff times for debating. That's in that article too. So we think we got everything pretty well covered there. Item 4 is the consolidation of street acceptance articles. We have from time to time 3, 4 maybe street acceptances, and some communities consolidate all those in one article, and then that's presented as a lump. And then if anyone wants to speak on any one article, they can motion to remove it, and then the rest of it passes just like we do on the budget, and then the remaining street acceptances are are voted on. And that's similar for the routine housekeeping articles.
My recommendation without a motion right now is I support it. We can try it. We can try to meet the spirit and, of the recommendations. And it's not an end point, right?
No.
We're going to continually evolve, and we'll continually try to make improvements. And, we'll see where that brings us. That would be my suggestion, but I'm interested to hear what the other board members think. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, Bill, to be honest with you, I echo nearly everything you said. A lot of work got done. And with that, I think we should make a motion to support this committee and town meeting. So I'd like to make a motion to adopt a start time of 7 p.m. and items 4 and 5, which are consolidation of street acceptance articles under one article, and item 5, consolidation of routine housekeeping articles under one article for the May 14, 2018 annual town meeting.
To expect people to who have been up since 5 o'clock in the morning, worked a full-time job, and then be out at 10:30 at night in town hall sometimes in May when it's 90 degrees with the windows open, it's unacceptable. So I commend you for all of that.
I'm prepared to second this. I think people have been thoughtful in their approach to this. We'll see how it does. Nobody knows empirically how it will work, but we'll try it. So I would second that, Mr. Chairman.
And I would also vote in favor.
Okay?
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen.
The regular season is still in the early stages for Milford girls lacrosse. This week I was fortunate to have the opportunity to meet with the coaches and captains from the Lady Hawks lacrosse team to find out how the start of the season has gone and to ask some big picture questions to a program that hopes to continue growing in the Milford community. Lacrosse in Milford has been slowly yet steadily making progress since it first joined the school's spring sports ranks. For girls lacrosse, the team, along with their second-year head coach Tim Dowd, look to keep that pattern of progress going as they settle into their regular season schedule.
Last year was sort of like getting thrown into it, and there was a big learning curve on my end. I was JV coach for field hockey, but I actually hadn't coached lacrosse up to that point. I was always a huge fan of the sport. So when Mr. Boucher asked me to take over, it was an honor, really, and I was very eager to get to it because my high school didn't have a program, so it was sort of like a redemption for me that I could finally get a chance to be a part of the team. So last year was a lot of learning for me, developing as a coach to help them be the best players that they can be. We had a lot of really talented seniors last year that were incredible and very helpful. And this year, the seniors are doing a great job coming right along with them. And we have a really strong core of juniors as well that are helping out quite a bit. So I think the program is in a good place. We're in good shape. But we have to keep working, keep developing, and really try to attract as many athletes as we can into the program, into the system.
The Lady Hawks lacrosse team features a trio of captains who each bring a unique skill set and leadership style to the field.
I'm Emily Condon. I'm a captain this year. It's my first year as captain. It's my 4th year on the team. It's been a really positive experience for the past 4 years. I love playing. I love being a part of this team and this program. I've had, 2 different coaches. Mr. Dowd was our coach. He started last year, and I think he's doing a great job. And we're continuing to build the program.
I started playing my freshman year. I never thought that I would play lacrosse ever, not just in high school. And I think seeing my progress from freshman to senior year really, I don't know, I thought it was really cool for me to end up as captain after never playing before.
At first I kind of took a step back and I was like, whoa, wait, I'm really the captain? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But after that, I got really excited about it, and then I also had to take a step down from the excitement and say, well, now I have responsibility to the team, and I have a responsibility to keep myself in line.
Both of our senior captains played defense for us, and they're phenomenal in front of the net. Really, really working hard to understand the system that we're trying to put in place, and really keeping the morale up for all the team. Emily and Alexa, they're both just phenomenal kids, fantastic role models, incredibly hard workers, and just they do a great job of getting everybody involved from JV all the way up to varsity, and making everyone feel a part of the team. So they're great, just great to have around. Emily Haley, who is a junior, she's our third captain. She plays mid for us, and she's just a phenomenal athlete, just truly phenomenal athlete. Loves the sport of lacrosse. It comes across just anytime she steps on the field. It just, you can tell that kid loves playing lacrosse. And she's like the heart and soul of the team. She is just athletically on both sides of the ball, just phenomenal, lead by example type.
It's been a bit of a rocky start for the girls lacrosse team, but the coaches and captains are confident they can make adjustments to get their season on track.
What we realized is we got to be better on defense as a team. So that's what we're sort of focusing on, sort of changing up the team philosophy of defense and really working on being a collaborative unit in front of the net, and putting the stress not on any one player, but really trying to make it a team effort in front of our goaltender. Sav is a great goaltender, so we want to give her all the support that we can in front of the net, and that's sort of what we've been working on the last few days and what we're going to be working on the next few days.
We were stuck in a gym for a while, which kind of hindered our progress. Many teams had their fields ready and we didn't, so we didn't get a lot of that practice they did. But I think even with that setback, we are building ourselves up, and I think by the end of the season we'll be pretty good.
As lacrosse continues to grow in the community, Coach Dowd is hopeful to see further development in the youth ranks to give players a stronger foundation in the sport prior to reaching the high school level.
There's a few youth programs in neighboring towns, neighboring areas that a few of our girls have played in, and that's extremely beneficial. I would love to get one going here. The community youth office has actually been great. They've been helping. We're running a camp this summer that I'm going to be running for younger girls to sort of get the interest up, and then hopefully we can develop it to a place where maybe we can get a youth program in place, or at least a team that can travel, that we can get the kids the experience, because it's really hard when, a lot of our girls haven't picked up a stick before 9th grade, and then they're up against girls who've been playing since they could walk, and it's really hard to make up for that gap in experience. So anything we could do to help that would be great.
I think that's our biggest challenge as a team, is competing against programs that have youth leagues starting in kindergarten, and we have most of our players honestly start freshman year, and I think that is our biggest challenge, because it's such a difference. And although we compete and we play and we win, it's different. Our stick skills aren't as much as other teams. And so that's something we continue to work on, and we build our strengths in different ways. We may not have the most intricate skills or the most experienced team, but we work really hard. We have great hustle, and we have some really talented players. We do have some girls who have been playing for a long time independently, but we don't have any youth leagues, so that's been a challenge. And even girls that start their freshman year. So I started my freshman year, Alexa, my other co-captain, started her freshman year, and just continue to work and practice in the off-season, and we'll be able to develop our skills and compete with the other programs.
While the current goal for the team is to grab that elusive first victory, I asked each of the captains what their overall expectations are for this 2018 regular season.
I feel like we set our sights on winning more games than we have last year. Other than that, it's really to work on talking, work on communication, and passing back and forth. I know passing is going to be like a really big thing for us this year. So, yeah, those two main things.
I just really hope we get some more shots in the goal, honestly. We have a really good attitude already, and I think if we work hard at practice and just try our best, I think we could be competitive. I would say that's my goal.
Even this early in the season, I think we've made remarkable progress. And it's exciting going forward. And if we keep up at this rate, we're gonna be awesome.
That is going to wrap things up for this week. As always, we thank you for tuning in. And from all of us here at Milford TV, this is Tim Coet saying have a great week. So long, everybody.